Listen up, Vegas. Welcome to the slaughterhouse. Perfect.
Good morning, maggots, and welcome to the slaughterhouse. Thank you for everybody that was on the premiere recently of the Nautical Attack Station from Australia. This is going to be a deep dive looking at a few more details. It was just a quick video that I put together, and I thought that there was some value in diving a little bit deeper into some of the information that I found on it, which, to be fair, wasn't a lot. But let's do this together, shall we? So quick hellos. Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures. Hello, sir. How are you? WJ, good to see you, bud. And we've got Cobra Lang. Always great to make a friend. That is true. Spine Ticks. How are you, mate? Wasabi. A lot of quality guys on here today. Blewz, channel member Blewz. How are you, mate? Phil from Treasure for Treasure. I hope it's Brazilian coffee, right? If it's not, that's a shame. Ken, things that make you go, Dale, how are you, buddy? Who else have I got up in here? Space Commander. Correct. The original Sergeant Smasher was a repaint. That wasn't really a repaint. It was the Marauders version colors. But just the mold is well and truly used by the time Fun School get to it. Good buddy Ryan and a good buddy Gazz. Am I missing anyone? Scuba Pete's in the house. How are you, mate? I'm getting to a point where I can't remember if I've said hello to everybody. Dale, how are you, friend? This legend, how are you? What a cool dude this guy is. I think that's everyone. If I've missed you, I apologize. Throw your name again in the chat. Nolan, how are you, buddy? And Crash. Oh, we got a super sticker from Gazz. Thanks, mate. It just says super sticker on my end, but I'll go back and I'm sure whatever it is pretty cool. And Fabulous Disaster. Hey, everyone. Hello to you. Alrighty, so we just had the premiere of the Nautical Attack Station. It was one of those ones I've been sitting on for a while. I kind of want to do more reviews, but it's a matter of whether or not it's going to add any value, right? So everyone's already done every review you can possibly think of on YouTube. I'm not going to be doing anything extraordinarily new or out there, right? But I hadn't really seen a lot to do with the Nautical Attack Station. This bad boy here, I've got it just off camera. Oh, here we are. Here's another legend. How are you, mate? Anyway, so this guy, the Nautical Attack Station. So what I wanted to do, when I saw this, when I first found this, I thought this is great. I've got all the other vehicles in the line, and it always bugged me that Barbecue, poor old Barbecue, didn't really have a shining vehicle to call his own until they rectified it with this interesting thing. Now, the stickers you can see, I mean, this one's pretty poorly aligned anyway. I didn't sticker it myself. Some child in their rush to play has just slapped these stickers on and had some grand adventures, I reckon, which is okay with me. That's part of the history of it. But yeah, they sort of overlap a little bit in places. And that's because that sticker probably should have gone here, and that sticker probably should have gone there. At least that's how it looks like on the Cobra version of it. Oh, we've got a wolf pack in the house. How are you, Crash? Good to see you. Does it float? They all float down here. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it floats, but I'm going to find out, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little play motion. I've got this really cool location near my place, which has got a really cool river or a stream, and I'm going to send it down the stream. I'm going to do a little bit of a play motion with it, and the story will be that if you've seen the Marauders commercial, the Sergeant Slaughter's Marauders commercial, the Marauders crash a volleyball game from Cobra, and I was like, there's probably a story there. Like, what's happening leading up to that, and what happens after that? So I'm going to set it in that time frame. So while the rest of the guys are attacking this, oh, hello, Will. Good to see you, buddy. While the rest of the guys are attacking this Cobra base where they're playing volleyball together, Barbecue is going to be sent down the river on a mission that you'll see that as I do it, whenever I feel like I have time for it. So I pulled this, when I got this, it was pretty dusty. It's not too bad considering its age, but I was like, I could probably clean it up. But then I thought, I'm going to send it down the river anyway. So hopefully it'll just clean itself up, or if it gets muddy and dirty, then I'll have to clean it again anyway, right? So one and done in my books. I do have a second one. The stickers aren't so bad on this as far as peeling over, but yeah, this one is definitely dustier. This one here does have the attachments and stuff to it, but they're all wrapped in bubble wrap, and so I figured I would just use the one for the purposes of the review, and then decide on a later date which one I'll send down the river. So hopefully that sounds like fun. Anyway, so let's take a deep dive into this bad boy. Now, I love that art. What they've done is they've recreated the Cobra battle barge and substituted the multiple Cobra characters that they use on there. If anyone knows the names of the Cobra characters that they use, drop it in the chat. But I'll bring that image up a bit later. But we've got Barbecue, Lowlight, and Sergeant Slaughter. So interesting fact, all of the Slaughter's Marauders action figures that Hasbro released were made in Brazil by Estrella. They were made in their factory, and they were then released by Hasbro, which is why a lot of the Marauders American release and international releases were a little bit dodgy as far as the plastic quality is concerned. Not the worst. I'll have to give that to Fun School, but and I do love Fun School. This isn't going to be a dig on Fun School, but the action figures are of a subpar quality as far as Hasbro is concerned, because they were created in Brazil by Estrella. And if you've got any Estrella figures, you'll know what I'm talking about. The plastic quality isn't bad. It's just yeah, they're not Hasbro quality. I mean, you can often break a thumb on a regular Joe or break the crutch off a regular Joe, yeah. But for the Marauders especially, they tend to break easier than those, in fact. I've got one Sergeant Slaughter where the thumb is intact, but the fingers are all gone. Yeah, but Phil says the Marauders are a great-looking team. You know what? I've come to appreciate them more now than I did before. Like when I was a kid, the only Sergeant Slaughter that I ever saw in the shops was the Marauders Sarge, and I was like, oh, it's blue. I'm not really into that. But I recently started thinking about why they would include the blue, and I had this idea in my head that it was supposed to be used sparingly, and Sarge is told, you know, we're going to try this new camouflage. It's mostly greens and browns, but we're going to throw in some blue for whatever tactical reason, but use it sparingly. And then Sarge just throws on a fully blue tank top, and it's just, you know, the camouflage is no longer in effect, but he's like, no, I'm wearing it's all or nothing. So that's just my little headcanon. But look, I don't know how to pronounce any of these words, but the art is exceptional. It's exceptional art. It is, as far as I'm concerned, this is, you know, almost Hasbro quality art. I would have possibly put Sergeant Slaughter in the front here instead of Lowlight, but that's just me. But the reason why these three characters specifically are on here is because even though Brazil manufactured all of the Marauders, they only released locally these 3 characters. Why? I'm not sure. But they did at least give them this Nautical Attack Station. I guess as a... Oh, Rolando, how are you, buddy? Good to see you, mate. If I've missed anyone, sorry about that. But we can see on the back here, you've got a lot of detail here. And again, I can't read any of that, and I don't really want to try and pronounce any of it either, just so I don't seem foolish. So I've gone and Google translated it. Now, fully aware that Google Translate isn't exactly accurate. I get that, but it's the best I can do. Unless anyone here can translate it accurately, this is the best we've got. So it translates to, so love it in the green plastic. Yeah, me too. I think it's great, and it's not overly, bright green or anything. It's a really good dark green, really good camo green, in my opinion. Google Translate says it's a Nautical Attack Station, Commands in Action, the Adventure Collectors. Yep, so far so good. The Commando's floating base with a sophisticated radar system and 3 laser machine guns that do not shoot. Don't try it. It's not saying that they do not shoot. It's telling you, do not shoot. So they elected not to. See all the details of the Nautical Attack Station on the back of the package. Well, yes, we'll do that. At the very bottom here, it says that it can fit 2 commandos, but we know it to be 3, so I imagine that's just a mispronunciation by Google. And at the bottom left, it says easy to mount. I've met a few people like that myself. So we'll go to the back. And yeah, there's a lot here. And again, I'm not sure how accurate this translation is, but we'll read it out anyway. So at the bottom here, it says, it fits 3 commandos. So yep, Google has finally realized its mistake and went, yep, 3. Super realistic details. Yeah, I mean, it's a barge, right? Yeah, okay. If it's, I believe it. I believe it. So it says here, contains the floating base. Well, then it floats. Perfect. We were asking before if it floats. We're going to find that out for real. The radar comes with a radar laser F machine gun. Support sheets of adhesive and instruction brochure. I don't have the instruction brochure, unfortunately. But it floats for real. So that's good news. Rotating and mobile laser machine guns. Okay, good. And if I squint my eyes, I can read this part. It says, Commando Island's first line of defense. The nautical station detects invaders with its ultra-sensitive radar well in front of your beer. So if you're sitting at the beach and you're sipping on a beer, this will detect it well in front of that beer. When the Cobra, I imagine that's supposed to be Cobra there, when the Cobra are still thinking about attacking by surprise, in fact, they're already about to be attacked by the commandos. So it's too late. This is the natural size after assembled. So, yeah, this is no fat shaming here. This is its natural size. Radar rotates 360. Correct. It does, in fact, do that. And it has material that is super resistant. To what? I'm not sure. So, yeah, I'm pretty cool with that. Yeah, there we are. You can put freedom on top of the dish there, sure. Since slaughter can't be everywhere, how about low light, grand slam, and spirit, and freedom on the barge? 3 long range fighters, 1 night ops, 1 tracker spotter, and 1 AOE and anti armor. Yeah, I mean the good thing about playing with your action figures is that you can do whatever you want with it, and you can't be told you're doing it wrong because it's your toy. You can do what you want with it. Now it is a G.I. Joe Marauders version of this Cobra Battle Barge. So someone shouted out in the comments who these 3 Cobras are. I'm almost certain that's a Techno Viper in the back, but I could be wrong. Who knows? Come on. Someone help me out with these guys. Inbound light beer for prevent the fire. Yeah, I don't judge if you're drinking light beer, but such as a hammock, I'll say. So we've got it's almost exactly the same art. So, you know, they've recreated it. And you can tell here where the Battle Barge Cobra sticker is where that sticker should have been placed on this version. And where it says the laser arc here in the front probably should have been that sticker there. But for whatever reason, Australia have determined that sticker goes there and this sticker goes here. Or like Han Solo would say, this one goes here, that one goes there. All right, so we have, thank you, Toxo Viper, Techno Viper, and I'm not sure who the Hordak looking guy is. Hydro Viper? Is it a Hydro Viper? There it is. Scuba Pete, Hydro Viper. Thanks. Oh, yes. Someone did do a Battle Barge video on Joburg. Yeah, that's a good one. Stow kegs below water. Yeah. Yeah, that does look like Hordak, though. That's a good crossover. So on the back of the Cobra Battle Barge, it says the first line of defense for Cobra Island. So these are specific to Cobra Island. The Battle Barge detects attackers with a long-range radar and then finishes them off with major firepower. Yeah, it floats too. So so far so good. Sitting for 3 figures, super realistic detail. I feel like this has got less on the back here, but it pretty much explains the same thing, right? You get more text on the Estrella version than you do on this one, but yeah. But basically, they each have the same specifics. Now, because I don't have an Estrella version of the blueprints, in fact, I'm not even sure. I know they came with an instruction sheet, but I'm not sure they came with blueprints. But if we go through the Battle Barge blueprints, it'll tell us what each thing is. So we've got the Cool It water-cooled 20mm internal loading cannon. Yep, I won't disagree with that. Sealed auto pump water jacket is number 2. Okay, cool. Gun rotation servo system. That definitely seems like something we'd need. The magnetic array detection radar. Yep. Okay, rough water hydraulically operated automatic flotation compensator. Okay. Ultra sensitive target acquisition scanner. 8, we've got the nylon micro mesh sealed flotation protection covering. So for your comfort. 9 is the foam filled polysac flotation pods. And then we've got 10 is the overflow hydro pump system. The pulse at 11, which translates to, there must be that center part there. Protection ultrasonic liquid filled surveillance emitter radar. Joystick platform directional control, and the ballistic cloth covered hydro stabilized gunner seat. So the gunner seat is ballistic cloth covered. I wonder how comfortable that would be. We have, hello, Ray's Wanna. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Good to see you. So I imagine then that the functions and everything that happened for the Cobra Battle Barge would be the same for this thing here. Now the real question is this a same situation that they had with the Tiger Force and Python Patrol, where they commandeered a Cobra Battle Barge and using it for Marauders / G.I. Joe purposes? Or as somebody mentioned or asked in the questions earlier, were they acquired by Mars as a separate purchase? Good question. Good question. I'm not sure. I guess for me, I would say that it probably makes more sense in the G.I. Joe world that they've just acquired some battle barges and used them for their own purposes. And so that's how I will imagine it. So the characters that I mentioned before that were only available for the Marauders were the Sarge, Barbecue, and Lowlight. Those were the only three that were available for the Brazil market. They did have Marauders, Marauders vehicles like we can see here, but they are missing one by the looks of it. I think it's the Armadillo. But if we look here, they use the battle barge on the beach. So I wonder then if this has some sort of hover capability as well to position itself in and out of the water. I reckon that'd be pretty sweet. I also reckon that having some of these along the beach would look pretty cool. Oh, Classified channel members in the house. I always like the blueprints. Yeah, me too. I think they look pretty cool. I used to file them away and use them when I was cosplaying as Sarge as a kid. But yeah, I think that looks pretty cool on the beach itself as opposed to being in the water. So then, yeah, I agree. So now we've got Sarge, we've got Spirit, we've got Mutt. I imagine Junkyard is probably down below somewhere. Yeah, a lot of those would be. So we've got these three. We've got Lowlight on the Lynx. And we've got Footloose on the Armadillo. And now finally, Barbecue has some representation as far as the box art is concerned. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. That's my little deep dive at the Nautical Attack Station. I keep wanting to call it the Nautical Battle Station. I think Nautical Battle Station sounds a little bit better than Nautical Attack Station, but yeah, it's a fun little toy. They had problems with animals then, no Spirit or Mutt. Yeah, good question. Well, Spirit, I imagine, is probably flying overhead doing some reconnaissance, and Mutt is probably just below in the chassis of the tank. Is that what they call it? I got no idea. But I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of this. I think that it's arguably cooler than the Cobra one. Unless anyone disagrees. Does anyone have a preference over this one and the Cobra one? I don't have a Cobra one on hand. You could have like a hovercraft, and that's how I usually use as a grown-up. I didn't always put in water. Yeah, so if you do, the good thing about hovercrafts were everywhere in the 80s, right? Everything was a hovercraft. And when I was a kid, I thought everyone was going to have a hovercraft when I grew up. But the good thing about this is if you don't want to, if you don't want to play with it in the tub, you don't want to take it down the beach as a kid or an adult, no judgment. But if you want to play around, yeah, they can have hover capabilities. I mean, it looks like it's got some turbines there that might give it a little bit of lift. But yeah, I think that would work well. Yeah, I love it in the green. Same. It looks good in green. I agree. This is definitely going in a special project, correct? I do intend on sending this down the river with Barbecue on it. Looking forward to the river vid. Yeah, thanks. They gave Big Boa repaint a boxing kangaroo. They did. I do like that version of Kangor. Yeah, I do like that version because it's got the black helmet for Big Boa. But as Classified mentioned, it is going down the river. And it's going to be set, like I mentioned before, it's going to be set during that period where the Marauders have attacked the Cobra base and they're playing volleyball. And so while the main team are attacking this volleyball Cobra hideout, this will sit Barbecue and two others I haven't decided yet. It could be Snake Eyes. It might be Hardball. I'm not sure who I'm going to send down there yet, but they will be on their own sort of side mission, and that's why they're not in that commercial. So it's like a little bit of an extension of that commercial's narrative, and also giving it a little bit more life, which I think, hopefully will be fun. Hopefully you enjoy it. Yep, green all day long. So I'll pull up the Cobra version because it's not bad. But yeah, I mean it's gray with pink guns. So while it doesn't look terrible in those colors, there's just something about the army green or military green and the gray that really, I think that just really helps make it pop. I can't think of any better color that they could have used for the guns and the radar. I think, I mean, black maybe, but gray I think just has that. It's the closest to the metallic look that you're going to get without it being metallic, right? Using a gray. Sounds like fun. Yeah, well, I hope so. It'll be me knee deep in water, sending my toys down a river and hoping I can get them at the end. But that's part of the fun, right? You, if you lose a toy, you lose a toy. I hope not to, but on the off chance that I can't get this one back, I do have a second. But I will be recording the whole thing, so you'll be able to see my pain in real time if I do lose it. Yeah. Nolan says, I always preferred Cobra vehicles. I think they just look more badass. Well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of cool Cobra vehicles, like the Rattler, for instance. This one is sort of like take it or leave it. I mean, imagine that battle barge, so the grayish color. Is it more of a red or a pink? I need to see. That looks pink in that picture there. Did the real one come with red? Will it be a live stream? I get it. Yeah, technically Hardball was added into the Marauders later on in very recent times in the grand scheme of things. Hardball was added, as well as Falcon and the Renegades, into the Marauders. Live stream. That's hilarious. So does anyone know if the colors on the Cobra version are red like that, like a deep red like that, or because that looks very pink to me? But even red, which I guess is Cobra colors, imagine that gray vehicle with the gray. Do we think that would be too much gray? Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think the green and the gray, I think they go well. Oh, it's a deeper red. Okay, thanks, Pete. All right, so that's not so bad. I might actually hunt one down because it might be worthwhile to do a little play motion where they acquire the battle barge and then reformat it for Marauder purposes. Like maybe the radars are still tuned in to Cobra frequencies, yeah, and they can pick up on radio chatter. Yeah, maybe that's an idea. All right, we're spitballing here. I bet it was more red. Yeah. Oh, cheers, buddy. Cheers, mate. I appreciate that. That'll come in handy. I'm going to have Pete on the channel soon. I'm looking forward to chatting G.I. Joe. If you guys haven't seen it, he did a fantastic video of the USS Flag. Oh, I love that video. I'm always going back to that one. Is a Sarge going anywhere near the river? No. So no. What I'll do is there's a sandy bank, and I will be having the Marauders vehicles up on the sandy bank. Sarge will be present, but he won't be on the river. If anyone gets lost, it'll be poor old Barbecue and whoever he takes along with him. So it could be a final mission for Barbecue. I wonder if I put little floaties on him, that would be an option. Maybe not. All right. So Cobra's also got a dark red barge. But yeah, maybe Oh, okay, gotcha. Yep. Can Tiger Moccasin tow the barge? That's a good question. The way I want to have it done. Sandy Bank. Anyone date her? No. I've got to. I want to say what I want to say, but I'm not going to say it. Where was I? Oh yeah. So the way I'm going to use it is I don't think it'll be towed, but I think what'll happen is I'll collapse all the bits and pieces on there and make it flat, and then I've got an idea where the tanks all come rumbling in right before they're about to attack this volleyball game, and they're gonna stop by the river, right? And I'm gonna have this simulated to be inside the tank, inside the equalizer, and then I'm gonna simulate that the equalizer opens up at the back, and this thing just sort of slides out the back of it, and then hopefully has a hover capability with these turbines, and just sort of comes out the back and then hovers towards the river and sends barbecue down there. But that's how I'm going to have it play out, is that I'll have them evacuate the back of the equalizer, and then everything else sort of like either springs up or the guys put it all together, like carry all the guns and stuff and start loading it up. The answer to this is, yeah, I had core figures. So it's not G.I. Joe, but anyone here buy Leonard, are their figures okay? I've got a deep appreciation for the core figures because those were the figures that my grandfather would buy. Like he had no idea what G.I. Joe was. He knew I was into them, but he was like, well, I can get him this one for this much money, or I can get him this many for this much money. And so I had a bunch of them, and I played with them as much as I did G.I. Joe. The quality, I don't know. I mean, it's not, I think it's comparable. I think they're not poor quality. I think their designs are a little bit different. As you know, the structure is all the same, but they're, you know, the chests I find are a little bit more bulky. But other than that, I think they blend in well. Specific characters, especially. So yeah, I'm all for them. If anyone says that they're knockoff Joes and they don't get it. They don't get it. Hello, keep on collecting. Good to see you, buddy. Water wings for the firemen. So this was another idea that I had, right? Because barbecue is a fireman. Another option would be if these were situated outside either the, what was that platform that they had? The G.I. Joes. They had that platform that would go in the water. Well, anyway, if they had these around them, and instead of these being guns, these were actually shooting out water. So there's like a firefighting barge for barbecue to man. So, you know, underneath would be a pump, and it would just spray out salt water. Yeah, whatever that platform was, that ocean platform, or even whatever else. If they had a base out in the middle of the ocean, these things could be situated around them and just either be used for defense or to put out fire. Yeah, that's an idea. But I think it's interesting that who have I missed? Anyone here? Everyone saying hi, howdy. I wonder if it was intentional to give Barbecue, who was a firefighter, a water-based vehicle specifically. Ah, yes, the tactical battle platform looked like an oil rig. Right, so if you've got the tactical battle platform, you're going to have these situated around them either for defense or for firefighting purposes in case there's a fire. Doc's going to be on standby. Doc's got a lot of work to do. Yeah, I think, yeah, water cannon, right? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This could be water cannons. The beauty of the imagination is that it's, you know, it's only limited by your own imagination. Anything can be anything if you want it to be. But yeah, I like it. I like it. But yeah, I'm a big fan of this. But I only found it in recent times. So the beauty of the internet, and I say this all the time, is that the beauty of the internet is that even though it's full of shocking stuff that nobody should see or watch, the beauty of it is that you find nuggets like this. And I had no idea that this existed until I found a website called Yojo Brazil. And Yojo Brazil was one of the most informative websites to do with the Estrella. Unfortunately, that website is down. So I haven't linked it in my review of this. I didn't link it because it doesn't send you anywhere. But yeah, if that website ever comes back up and running again, I highly recommend it. It's just, unfortunately, it's down. For whatever reason, I'm not sure. Can you put the barge on top of the platform? Would it fit? That's a good question. I'll have to ask. I know Stephen's got the platform, so I'll have to ask him what he thinks. Hey, Jake, ZZ Funk. Great find, says, well, yeah, look, just every so when you think you've got everything and then you find something new, it's exciting. Because I thought, okay, I've got all the Marauders, I've got all of the vehicles, tick everything off the list, and then all of a sudden you find this little nugget, something that you didn't even know existed, is now, I mean, I think I purchased this one off of eBay. I can't remember what I paid for it, but I do know that having looked for them again of recent times, because I wanted to try and find the box and I wanted to try and find the instructions for it. And looking on eBay now, these things are big money, but everything seems to be big money these days. What's this one? Watching Zazel, Corey, Phil, Kelly, Chris, Miwa, and Scuba recently has made Andrew and I pull out all our G.I. Joes and relook at them. Thanks to you all. Well, thanks to you for sharing, mate. That's great. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to be inspirational. I'm just trying to find an excuse to play with toys. And if I can be part of your excuse to pick up a toy and play again, well, then I'm deeply, deeply honored. Thank you. Then we got here. All right. Oh, see you, Corey. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. If you could pick one more character to add to the Marauders, who would it be? All right. So technically, the people that have been added so far are Hardball, Falcon, the Renegades, and the new character using a fun school name with Sergeant Smasher. So if I had to pick someone else to add to the Marauders, oh, that's a good question. Yeah, Shockwave is an option. So you have to think that with these guys, they're using the first versions. So whoever you pick has to be the first version of their mold. So who would I pick? Wild Bill. Done. Wild Bill. Put Wild Bill in these colors. I reckon that'd be pretty sweet. And that way they've got some air support. Because they've got ground support, they've now got ocean or river support. They definitely should have some air support. Shipwreck is a good option. Yep. Marauders, Steel Brigade. Well, that means that you could be a Marauder, right? So yeah, I'm always surprised they never put Gung Ho in the team. Yeah, and they also didn't put Sarge in the Mega Marines, and he's like the mega of all Marines, right? You called it. Good stuff. Thanks for watching Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures. I super appreciate it, mate. Oh yeah, that's another good one. Torpedo. He needs a scuba guy. Next time you take a look at Torpedo. The action figure of Torpedo. Tell me that does not look like a female body. I'm almost certain that Torpedo was meant to be a female character that they just made a dude. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Check it out. Oh, yeah, Outback is another good option. So would Outback then have a fully blue shirt, or would he just have the Marauders symbol on it instead of that big tiger like he had on Tiger Force? Just have the big Marauders star on him. That would be cool. Was Leatherneck ever in the Mega Marines? I don't think so. No, but he should have been. Wetsuit, he's underrated. I don't think Wetsuit's underrated. I think Wetsuit's probably more popular than Torpedo. I think Torpedo is probably the most underrated out of the two of them, unless I'm wrong. But you always have Wetsuit and Leatherneck sort of team up, right? He's a good one. Flint, even though he's already in Tiger Patrol, a fellow Green Beret to watch Falcon. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Is Falcon really a industrial strength foul up, or is that just the cartoon? Because the file card was brought to my attention recently that the file card shows him to be very capable. Shipwreck, I think, would be a funny inclusion if we're going with the Sunbow version of Shipwreck. But yeah, I guess a seafaring one would sit upon here with Barbecue very well. And I guess you could add Torpedo to make it a trifecta of water-specific characters because, you know, being a firefighter. I would pick Outback. Okay, yeah, I don't disagree. Outback's a good idea. Yeah. You're going nowhere, Space Case, that's right. But do that in the Sarge voice. All right, Peppermint Oil Capsule, that's you next time. Sci-fi, yep. Unpleasant memory about Torpedo. Have you got one? Let's hear it. Rock and Roll added to the Marauders, yeah. So it would have to be the version 1 Rock and Roll, though, because the Marauders are always using the version 1. So if you think that the version 1 Rock and Roll is superior, then by all means. So we've got Joe Young saying Tunnel Rat, Falcon, Flint, Dial Tone, and Hit and Run. I wonder how Hit and Run would look in blue. Would his face paint be blue? That'd be interesting. Dial Tone, he kind of has a blue suit in, is it the DEF? Where Dial Tone's sort of got like a bluish outfit. So that could be an easy fit. Just slap him straight on there. You know, it might be just good to go. Surprised he didn't pick Leatherneck to be part of Slaughter Marauders. He is a Marine. That's true. Stalker is an option. I would take Stalker for sure. Chuckles. Now, Chuckles, I think would look cool because he's already got a loud shirt, right? So keep the floral pattern, but throw some blue in there and or some more blue. I'm almost certain it's got light blue in there. Yeah, but throw some more. I reckon that'll be a funny fit, but a fit nonetheless. Oh, you know what? That's a good point. Like maybe a female character should be in there. Yeah. So if it was going to be a female character, you don't get a lot of options, do you? So you've got Scarlet, you've got Lady J, you've got Jinx. Who am I missing? Am I missing anyone? It can't just be those three, surely. It can't just be those three. Here's another option, Tracker. Yeah, Tracker would fit well too. Oh, Cover Girl. Yes, Cover Girl. All right, you know what? Cover Girl. And then make the tank, the Wolverine, paint that up. You'd have to put a different missile system on it and call it something else. So instead of the Wolverine, you call it the Logan. Quarrel, yep. Green, brown, and blue Hawaiian shirt. Yeah, right. Yep, Jinx is an option. But yeah, Tracker. What a great idea. Yeah. He's got his own raft. So does that count as a vehicle? So out of all of them, I think Cover Girl's getting the vote, right? She comes with her own tank already. So maybe she can be the one time that they release a tank with the character. But didn't I already? So what's hers? Is that already her tank? Or am I misremembering? Yeah, call it Logan. Maybe make CoverGirl, give her the blonde hair look. But was this the tank that they used originally as the Wolverine? Because otherwise, yeah, drives the links. There you go. So that was the Wolverine then with a different missile system. Yeah. But still, yeah, there you go. Cool. Yep. Well, there you go. So they've already released her tank. Give CoverGirl the blonde hair look, just to really give us something different. Beachhead is in control of the LERP's heavy infantry. Beachhead would be another good one, but do you reckon that his entire head would be blue, like low light here, but rolled all the way down? Yep, it's got the Mauler cannon. Yeah. I'm glad I remembered that before I continued on saying that they should have included the Wolverine. Oh, so that's an embarrassing G.I. Joe flub. Yeah, so imagine Jinx in the Lynx. That'll be a tongue twister. But that is a good-looking tank. So do we have a preference? Low light is my sniper squad. That's right. It did have missile launchers, correct. So do we have a preference over the original tanks? Or do we think that they've given them an upgrade? Because I find that the Armadillo, while it doesn't have the... And I can't believe that they didn't rename the Armadillo. These images are from 3D Joe's and also from a Brazil website, which is no longer around. But I do have all of these in my collection, yes. But I don't have the boxes to show the art, so I borrowed them from 3D Joe's. Definitely check them out. I use armored Humvees. Yeah. Chinks in the Link sounds like a fun hangout, I'll say. Rock and Roll and Roadblock. Yeah, they'd be good inclusions as well. If you had to pick one, though, which one would you go with? I'd probably go Roadblock. But even though the Armadillo didn't get a name change, which is a shame because it should have, everyone else's did, they gave it the missile system, and all the missiles are the same between the Armadillo and the Equalizer. They use the same missiles. But I kind of prefer the Slaughter's Marauders version of this tank. I think this must be the third time that they used it, or the second time they used it with a different gun system. But what happened to the website? I'm not sure. So I used to go there. How's it going, Dave? Dave is a super creative genius, in my opinion, and has come up with a couple of characters for the upcoming project done by Operation Recall. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of your work, Dave, and I say that every time because it's true. V2 Rock and Roll. You can't use V2 Rock and Roll. You have to use the original molds because that's what they did. So I'm keeping that in there. So the Brazilian Joe web, it was Yo Joe Brazil, and it used to be up and operating, and it was the best place to go to look for Estrella stuff. But now when you go there, it just says under maintenance, and it's been under maintenance for a while now, which leads me to believe it's just not coming back. I hope it does that because there was a lot of invaluable information there, which is where I found most of the Brazilian images, and may have actually been the reason how I found out about this to begin with. May have been that I was looking at Yo Joe, and YoJoe.com sent me there. So Rob Vegas is in the house. Yo Joe, definitely check out Rob Vegas's stuff too. Well, I'm not being kind. I'm being honest, my man. But it's all true. Well, I am being kind, but it's true. Yeah, you've got some of the two best characters from that entire line, in my opinion. Have you done more than two? I know you've done two so far that I'm aware of. If you've done more, I'd love to see it. Zezo, you have those 3 Joe boats as well. Down the river they go. All right, they're all going down the river. Maybe I'll do a race. I'll send all my boats down the river, and I'll see who wins. It says, I switched the Humvee to the Mudbuster truck for Beachhead. Hey, that would be pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, yes, the barge would be great for Rob Vegas' fishing trip. So Rob Vegas is celebrating, oh, geez, was it 2 years on YouTube, Rob? And he's recently done a review on what he dubs as the Rob Vegas fishing trip. And you've got, who you would expect to go on a fishing trip with, like Bazooka and Cross Country. So check that out. Okay, you go with barbecue, wetsuit, and shipwreck. I understand wetsuit's inclusion, but what in this scenario, how does shipwreck add value to this mission? How does shipwreck add value? Like, he looks cool, but I'm not sure if he's the best choice. But I'm not knocking it. I like it, but what value does he add to it? Any reviews on the Slugger? I haven't, but maybe Rob Vegas has. That's a good vehicle too. Actually, I wonder a Slaughter's Marauders version of the toll booth and the bridge layer. That would be cool. Battle Core Shipwreck. Yeah, he's a cool version of Shipwreck, but if we're keeping to the style of the Marauders, you have to use the version 1 molds, because that's what Estrella did. So in my own headcanon, if we're adding anyone to the roster, they're coming in with their original design. Even the Sarge is the mail-away version, not the Triple T version. So he's the V1 Sarge. They're all V1s. Shipwreck is a stoner, possibly. That's a big maybe. Can you imagine? You know what? Maybe it works. Yeah, maybe it works. I'm down with it. All right. If it comes with an animal, it works, right? We've already got Spirit and Freedom. We've got Mutt and Junkyard. Surely we can have Polly and Shipwreck. All right. I'm sold. The value that Shipwreck adds is that he includes Polly. Done. I'm good with that. What about adding Topside and Cutter to the Marauders? Yeah. I think Cutter more than Topside for me. Topside's okay, but I think Cutter just looks cooler. Give one of the troopers a miniature fishing pole. If you look at the pictures or the thumbnails for the fishing trip, you've got Bazooka holding up a esky of beer, which I thought was funny. You use an elite Black Hawk. Yep, I reckon that would go pretty well. Needs more corn. I like that we've come up with all these memes now. Peppermint Oil Capsule. We've got the corn. We've got roll like a taco. Yeah, we've got a bunch of in jokes now that 20 years from now no one will understand. Shipwreck is Brazil Tiger Force, and he did pass SEAL training in canon. You could even make a stinky diver joke at his expense. Yeah, I've got to start remembering that these characters were done justice in their file cards, and even though the cartoon sometimes makes them silly, like Falcon and Shipwreck, that they were very capable military minded individuals, and Shipwreck definitely is a SEAL. So yeah, got Footloose, but he needs Dusty. And if you get Dusty, do you get Sandstorm as well, or do we lose out on that because it's not the first version? Because I had my version of Dusty was the Dusty and Sandstorm, which I do prefer personally. Then you've got, you don't fish to catch fish, you catch a buzz. You do if you're drinking. So if I have to go fish, then I'm definitely going to have a drink. So it can't be a figure that are on other teams. No, it can. It can be. That's fine. I mean, who in the Marauders was also in Night Force? Was Lowlight a Marauder and in Night Force? If I'm correct, I thought that he was. Am I wrong? Who was in Night Force? He must have been in Night Force. If he wasn't in Night Force, if Lowlight wasn't in Night Force, and that's a miss. But yeah, I'm fine with it overlapping. But if you're going to use a version, just in my own mind, I mean, you could do whatever you want, you know, the way you play. But for me, I would be sticking to the version 1 characters because that's just what Estrella did. So if I'm going to pick the Shipwreck, then I'll pick Shipwreck with Polly. If I'm going to go with Roadblock, then I'm picking version 1 Roadblock, Rock and Roll, so forth and so on. So with Dusty, even though I like Sandstorm, I would be picking the first one. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Outback was Tiger Force and Night Force. So the thing about Outback is if you look at him in Night Force, the Night Force Night Raider, which was the black version of the Triple T, he was in Night Force then. And then after that, I guess he realized that Sarge wasn't too happy with him, or he couldn't handle the rigors of driving around in a Triple T. It sent his hair white by the time he got to Tiger Force. So that there's a cautionary tale there. Don't steal one of Sarge's Triple Ts. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. It makes no sense. It makes no sense to me too. But I guess his figure probably could just blend right in, right? Like it's almost already Night Force colors. The file card did state Shipwreck's ego arrogance. It actually got worse after earning his Eagle and Trident. Well, still, he's not as much of a slack off as in the cartoon would portray him. I broke my Joes into modern fighting teams, mainly anti-terrorist. Well, I mean, weren't they all originally anti-terrorist, anti-Cobra terrorist organization? But yeah, I mean, how you do it is up to you. I mean, most of mine, when we finally met, because I had 2 brothers, still do have 2 brothers. We would often amass quite a collection because we were each collecting the same thing, right? So we'd have a bunch of different characters. So if I had 5, my brother would have 5, and then all of a sudden we've got 15 Joes. And the way that we would collect would always be determined on what was available to us, because we were living in a rural outback town where we didn't have everything available to us. So, for instance, I picked up Chuckles because I couldn't find Duke. So Chuckles became my casual Fridays Duke. Yeah, that's how we played. Is that why Sarge wears the hat to hide the white hair while driving that Triple T? Well, he doesn't have any hair anymore, but no, I think he can handle it. That's the thing. He can handle driving around that Triple T. But when Outback went to give it a go, it sent his hair bright white. Yeah. If we include non-bendy figures, how about a captured and reprogrammed Muton, a former Red Shadow who has seen the light? Yeah. So we're going to get together again soon and talk about some more Action Force stuff because I miss those chats, buddy. But yeah, Muton is becoming one of my favorites. He just looks so cool, and that's a good idea. There was recently brought out a camouflage version of the Bat in the modern era, and I always use that as a reprogrammed G.I. Joe Bat, like just one, like a Terminator, like it was just one reprogrammed. It's not like in the 80s and 90s. It took me and my mates 3 days to complete the battle. Yeah, like we used to continue on our battles where we'd pick up where we left off every day, and every battle that took place before had some effect on the battle that came afterwards. If someone died, then they died, and that was just the way it was. I don't think we ever brought anyone back, and if we did, because I was into comics at the time, then I bet there was some spectacular reason why they did come back. Swords, Mortals, Chuckles would be a great idea. I'm all for it. Oh yeah, and Torre. There you go, Night Force and Tiger Force. I always forget he was in Tiger Force. Yeah. I remember the Night Force one and the regular one, but I always forget the Tiger Force one. What does the ones with the sound backpacks? What were they called? Is that considered a subgroup or just a gimmick? I'm not too sure on that. But yeah, Tunnel Rat, I reckon, would be a good one too. I think you could get away with the color scheme depending on how you did it. Like a lot of them, if we look at, I don't have a picture of the characters here, but even though Sarge is wearing a full blue tank top, which of course he is, I think everyone else sort of uses the blue sparingly. Oh, Sonic Fighters. Right, is Sonic Fighters a subgroup or is that just a side thing? You know, Stalker is a great idea for the Marauders. I still like the idea of having a female on the team, so bringing in Cover Girl would be cool. Right? That guy got around. But yeah, you can see that the blue is utilized probably better on the other characters. Even Lowlight's Beanie, Footloose, I think they used the blue just enough. Why they used the blue, I don't know. But I think they used it just enough. And then Sarge comes along and is like, nah, full blue tank top, blue glasses. But I've come to appreciate the Marauders more now than I did originally. I do think that the skin tone on Sarge is like, I compare it to a supermarket mannequin. Yeah. So you can't easily swap out the parts. And why they didn't paint the wristbands, I'll never know. You're getting the Spirit Storm Shadow dual pack. Oh, good stuff. I wonder if any kid played with their G.I. Joes like Fred Savage did in The Boy Who Could Fly. When they died, he gave them a funeral and buried them. Yeah, we did the same thing. Some were buried. Some were a fake out. Like we would do fake out deaths because you get to a point where you're just sick of nobody getting injured, right? You just, it can only go on so long. Like Cobra Troopers died all the time, but you can reuse those because they're like just, the uniforms are all the same. So a Viper could die. The Crimson Guard could die. All of those guys could die. But yeah, named characters, if they died, you had to give them a funeral, or it was a fake out, and then it would turn out that they were okay. Not a coma, but some other more interesting fake out. Or if you lost them, they would be considered part of it as well, because as a kid you lose toys. So if you lost a toy, if you're out and you lost a toy, well, then that became a casualty. I guess another one was if they broke. If they broke, then that was a war wound, and you either replaced it or because if you replace a character, if another version came out, well, then it's just an upgrade. And we would acknowledge that they had a costume upgrade too in when we played. Ours died, but they would return the next week. There you go. MIA if it went missing. Yeah, if they went missing, but there was another one coming out, like if we knew there was another one coming out or we were planning to get another one, then they didn't die. They just came back later. If we acquired one that we already had before, like sometimes you'd swap toys with friends. So I remember I had a Ninja Turtle. What was that Rock Soldier's name? I had the Rock Soldier, and a friend of mine wanted to trade with some G.I. Joes, and he gave me like 3 or 4 Joes. 2 of them I already had, but I'd lost them. So I was like, they came back into rotation. I also traded him once. I got 3rd place in a running race, so I got a green ribbon, and he wanted the ribbon and then traded me for the ribbon. He traded me some more Joes. And I never understood why he wanted my 3rd place ribbon, right? Because I didn't care. It was just a ribbon. I don't care. But he seemed really intent on having it, and so I swapped him for some Joes. And it was later on that I probably thought that he probably just wanted to make his parents proud, So he wanted to bring home a ribbon and say, "Look what I did." And so while those Joes are well and truly gone, hopefully my 3rd place ribbon is still somewhere in his mum's collection that she looks at and goes, "Oh, my boy did this. My boy came 3rd." Alpine's another good idea too. Alpine would be a good inclusion. Yep. We didn't really do a lot of blood stuff. Some of my favorite westerns don't have a lot of blood. They just sort of like get shot and fall over, and that's fine. That's part of the action. And that's the way I kind of played with Joe's as well. Like they got shot, but that we weren't using blood splatter or anything. It wasn't important for me as a kid to see blood. Slaughter Marauder Alpine, that would have been dope. Yeah, I agree. His sculpt is very well put together, and yeah, I think that he would be a great inclusion. And I think having some cultural inclusions is a good idea as well. I think their only representation is the Native American with spirit. Yeah, I used to be really finicky when I was first collecting Joes, again as an adult, about the condition they were in, and then I started to appreciate more the action figures that weren't showing up to my collection squeaky clean. Like this guy looks pretty good, right? He's not in rough shape or anything, but if one turns up in my collection that's scuffed up, missing a thumb, whatever, right? I actually find that one to be of greater value because it's had some play wear. It's had some adventures. Kids have taken them outside and they've played with this thing, you know, where a thumb's broken off, or you can tell if they've been put in and out of a tank because you can see where all the scuffs are. Yeah, but I love battle damage because it means that a kid played with this toy and they had fun. If I see one that's like super mint, no scratches at all, I was like, did this kid have fun with this toy? It's a toy. Have fun with it. I shoot BB guns next to my Joes to make incoming rounds. That's cool. Yeah, that's awesome. We did something similar. We used Mum's vacuum cleaner outside with a extension cord, and I don't know why, but I thought for some reason in the moment that it would blow air out, but all it did, as a vacuum cleaner does, is suck air in. So yeah, it was not a good day for me. I got in a lot of trouble for that. A lot of dirt and dust went into that, like more than it should. Airborne's another good idea. I don't think he ever got a second life in any way, shape, or form. He did, but Airborne, he was in Sky Patrol, but it's a wholly different character. Same name. I believe it's Airborne. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm no expert, guys. Oh yeah, nice. The cards are pretty cool. I like the carded Marauders. They're not affordable for me. There we are. Yeah, Airborne. Good. I used a washable red mark to give the Joes, like bleeding from the nose or mouth. I find some of them sometimes where they show up with that sort of battle damage. I've seen some drilled, which is a pretty permanent battle damage. But yeah, like this, I had one that looked like it was red nail polish and drill holes. That was pretty mad. Another dude stole his code name. That's messed up, right? That's so messed up. Has that ever happened with anyone else other than Airborne? I wonder. But yeah, that's pretty crazy because it's not even the same dude. I can't think of any other character. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's reuses, but that's the only one I can think of at the moment. Imagine running out of names that you reuse Airborne. Airborne, they should have just used the original Airborne in Sky Patrol because, I mean, why not? But I am on the hunt for that second Airborne, though, because the head on it, I think, would look really good as a wrestler for the Slaughterhouse Wrestling Championship. I find myself babysitting my Joes now. Okay. How do you mean? Like, you got to keep hands off of it, make sure no one's touching them. I'm not altitude. Yeah. Here's a good one. I'm not overly precious with my Joes. If my son wanted to pick them up and fuss around with them, I'd be like, yeah, cool. They're toys. Go for it. Go for it, my man. I mean, I'm going to send this thing. He never would. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about him. But if he did, I'd be like, yeah, go for it. But yeah, I'm going to send this guy down the river, so I can't be too precious. Not even a brand new figure. There's a repaint like lift ticket with a new head. Yeah. Yeah, they were all reused bodies, right? But with just new head sculpts and equipment. But they look pretty cool. Like the one I got, who's the one that is the AVAC repaint? Because I used the head of that guy as my commentator, and that guy repainted is better. Is that AVAC? Am I using that right? Is that the right character? The red one that comes with the ship that comes out of the Terradrome. Who's that guy? Yeah, I think at the moment, action figure photography is the adult equivalent of being able to just play with your toys, right? You have an excuse to play with toys. So whether you're taking photos or whether or not you're making them battle in a wrestling ring like I do, it's just a good excuse to play with your toys. Not that you need one. Yeah, but they're pretty cool. I really want to play with them. Well, then play with them, my man. They are yours. I have a piece of advice for anybody that's wondering whether or not they should open up a sealed G.I. Joe, right? If you're ever on the fence, if you have a sealed G.I. Joe, is AVAC the character? He's got the metal head. He's got a red suit. Is his name AVAC? And he's in that red ship that flies out of the Terradrome. Is that AVAC? Because if that is AVAC, then yes, they reused that mold, and it's like in a really earthy colors like brown and stuff. It's so cool, much cooler than the Cobra equivalent. If it's not AVAC, I'm misremembering it. Whoever that character is, the Fireback. Yeah, is it that guy? Is it that guy? Cool. Anyway, so my advice for anyone that has, yeah, take a look for me. If anyone has in their collection some sealed Joes, right? And they're like, oh, I don't know if I should open it. I really want to play with it. I really want to open it, but, you know, it's on card, right? My advice is sooner or later, someone's going to open it, whether it be just time, being that, you know, the glue loosens up and it opens itself, or even the O-ring bursts inside and then you've got a broken figure in there anyway. So whether time happens or whether or not you sell it and someone else opens it, someone is going to open it eventually, right? It may as well be you. You may as well open it. It doesn't matter what you perceive the monetary value to be. Be the first person to open up and hold that action figure. It's just a toy. All right. So is that the one with the buttons down the center? If it's the guy with the buttons down the center, then that guy with the Sky Patrol colors, oh, so good. So good. Yeah, I used the head of that character. Yeah, I've got him over there somewhere. Actually, please hold. I'll go get it. I had to turn the camera off so I didn't prove that I was or wasn't wearing pants. Oh, super. Thank you very much. Just because, yo, Joe. I appreciate that, Chad. That's awesome of you. Thank you, mate. This guy. Right, I would say, arguably, that this is a much cooler color scheme for this mold. Yeah. So cool. And that's the head that I use for the commentator and the Slaughterhouse Wrestling Championship, because I just think that's cool. Even though he doesn't have a beard, that's the guy that I voice. Yeah, why not have two? One active, one on standby. Yeah, Strato Viper. Strato Viper. Who did I call it? AVAC. Strato Viper. Sorry, guys. Who's AVAC then? Who's Strato Viper? Oh, Strato Viper was in the. I bet you someone's already answered this up here, and I've only gone and missed it. Strato Viper. There it is. Okay. So he was the Rattler pilot. Anyway, yes, that guy. Okay, so Night Raven, Night Raven part. Gotcha. Fuck, do I know G.I. Joe? I don't think I do. I don't think I know G.I. Joe as well as I thought I did. Yeah. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah. So sorry for that flub. Where is he? I used to watch a channel where a guy swore at people opening carded box toys. But screw that. It's your money and your toys. Open them up. It's, you know what? It is mine. If I wanted to, and I'm not going to, but if I wanted to hit this with a hammer and bust it, I could, because it's mine. I paid for it. It's mine. I don't want to, so I'm not going to. But I could, and it would be nobody's business but my own. I do intend. Oh, Wild Weasel is the rattler. That's right. All right. Ah, man, I am losing all credibility today. But this is, yeah, a good point. 100% agree. But for me, that is a superior color palette, in my opinion. Now, part of that has got to do with the fact that I'm a Western fan, and this kind of looks like a Western outfit in these colors. But who disagrees? Who thinks that this is actually a worse color scheme for this? Anyone disagree with me? Oh, nice. Yeah, I've gotten a bunch of carded Street Fighter figures recently, E-Honda being one of them. And I'm planning on opening it up because I want to use it for the Slaughterhouse Wrestling Championship. I got a fairly expensive, depending on how you value action figures, version of Vega that I decided that I was going to use in the Slaughterhouse as well, because it was a maskless look. And I was like, I need it for this. So I opened it up. Just open them up. It's your money. Strato Viper looks better. Okay, cool. It looks like an X-Wing pilot. Yeah, a little. I don't think that the Strato Viper looks bad. I just have a preference for this guy. That figure is Top Sergeant Zazel in the Special Project. Yeah. I don't know. I just like me and Peppermint Oil Capsule are the special project that we're doing coming up soon. And I do want to shout him out because he's very creative, an exceptional writer, great skill. And I like that I'm surrounded by such amazing people like these two here. I'm missing the unreleased Ryu. I used to call him Ryu as a kid, but it's Ryu, right? From the Street Fighter movies. Yeah, that one looks cool. It's a shame they didn't release that guy. Because I think there's also a different version of Ken with a more accurate head sculpt as well. Have you seen that one? Do you have that one? There's two versions of Ken. One being the one that they reused from the G.I. Joe version. There's another one with a movie accurate head. Dr. Mindbender is my Raven's backseat. I don't have a Raven, but Dr. Mindbender would be a good inclusion for the backseat of that, yeah. I'm surprised they didn't release that for the G.I. Joe Street Fighter, the movie. Some of those figures are really, really good. Like, they're some of the best ones, in my opinion. I don't really go for the gimmicks, so that's a shame. But E-Honda, what a great idea, right? For the time that it was in, creating a sumo style action figure in scale with the rest of your G.I. Joes. It doesn't work in some places, sure, but ultimately, I think that's a pretty decent looking figure. Who we got here? Hazel in the chat. You ever mix together equipment on your figures if you have several editions variants of the same character? I think by the end of it, for us, we had so many Joes and weapons and stuff in the toy box that we just gave them whatever. Like, because you just lose some anyway, just with natural play. So Chuckle's gun, if it wasn't in the holster at all times, was going to get lost. So you just sort of leave it in there and give him any other bigger gun. But yeah, I was happy to mix them up all the time. Oh, nice. unreleased movie Ken Masters figure. Nice. So you're just missing that Ryu. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I have the black version Ryu and the blue version of Ken. I've got the Street Fighter G.I. Joe version of Ken, thanks to Space Commander, who generously donated that one to me. And I've got the movie version of Ken now, both in red. I've got the white version of Ryu. I'm not sure that there was actually another official release of Ryu. Keep on collecting. Catch your mate. Thanks for dropping in the chat, man. I super appreciate it. Yeah. So, and that's why I'm thinking I'll have him go up against the Dead Man, so that it's like a redo of the Yokozuna versus Undertaker match. But I'm not sure yet. That's the idea I'm going with. So he'll be known as the Yokozuna E Honda, Edmund Honda, to his friends. So E Honda for me. Somehow I got Jean-Claude Van Damme from that figure. It is awesome. I used the blue tank top version of Guile with the head of Jean-Claude Van Damme to create a figure called the Bulldog for the Slaughterhouse Wrestling Championship. Yeah, the movie figures look more like the USA Capcom release art video game. I can't believe that they brought out Vega and didn't give him claws. That's mad. How mad is that? That he didn't come with any claws. White Vegeta, hello. How are you, buddy? Yep, that can only be Great British. Am I wrong or am I right? I have Sergeant Stalker in charge of Loyalite and 2 other operatives. Well, yeah, Sergeant Stalker is a very capable leader. I got the cartoon figure that was made between the 25th and the 30th anniversary figure of Flint in Cobra's Skies today. I holstered the silenced pistol he got, hung his Cobra helmet on it. Yeah, sweet. That is a good figure. Who else did they do in the Cobra uniform? Because technically it should have been Mutt and Flint in Cobra uniforms in that episode, right? Sergeant Slaughter is a bodyguard to General Hawk. The way I use Sergeant Slaughter in my mind is I use him sparingly as far as Joes are concerned. Like, he's not always hanging with the main Joe team. Like in the movie, he would just sort of be doing his own thing until he's needed, right? So he's not really a bodyguard to anyone. He doesn't really do mundane Joe stuff. Whenever he's on an active duty, he's back at the slaughterhouse. And just like when he first rolled in Arise Serpentor Arise, he's doing his own stuff and just comes in when needed. You froze for a moment when I said, am I right? Let's just agree that I'm right. Yeah. I'm happy to agree that I'm right. Put his knife in the belt, took the M1 from his reaction figure, which is, the reaction figures are not bad looking figures, they're just very expensive, and put it on his back and gave him a strange saw that yet another version of him had. So he's heavily loaded, I'll say. That's how the cartoon used him too, like a super soldier. Yeah. So for you, Peppermint Oil Capsule, the reaction figures, being that they're 5 POA, probably suit you more, being that you're an Action Force fan, right? Well, you're my Action Force guy. You're my guy to go to for Action Force. So 5 POA Joes fits right in your wheelhouse, as opposed to having the bendy versions of them. So you can have Flint in 5 POA if you want. If they made a reaction figure of Sarge, I'd be stoked for that too. They are very expensive. Like, I almost got the Andre the Giant one because I just thought it looked cool. Oh, thanks, mate. I just thought the Andre the Giant, they had 2 versions of Andre the Giant, which I thought looked cool, and I was almost going to get it. But for here in Aussie dollary dues, it was like over $30. I was like, nah, I can't do it. That's That's a bit too much for me. Like I know some people aren't into them so much because of the 5 POA part of it. That doesn't bother me. But yeah, it's the dollary dues stopping me from putting the purchase there. Yeah, but has anyone else got them at all? Because I'd like to know the quality of them. Other than, so WJ, you've got one. What's the quality of them like, plastic-wise and durability? I wish I had more joints, but they are making characters from the show and comics Hasbro never did, like the Blind Woodsman. Yeah, but if they had more joints, then just make them G.I. Joes, right? Yeah. I wish I still had the Slammer. Sergeant Slammer? There's 2 versions of Sergeant Slammer now. Oh, here we are. I love the reaction figures. I have many Motu ones, but then they started on Joe's. But they're so expensive. Yeah, they are. However, if they ever do Action Force repaints, I'd have to spend out. It just seems like why wouldn't they do that? It's so simple to do. Just bring out redos of Action Force. It's exactly in their wheelhouse, 5 POA. I'm trying to think what else was 5 POA back in the day other than Star Wars. That would also just be an easy transition. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, because I think there's some, I've seen the Ninja Turtle ones. Those ones are okay. And Ninja Turtles were mostly the same. They were 5 POA, just larger scale. So these ones, they're essentially just the same thing, only, you know, they're probably more streamlined. Adventure People, there you go. I collect the reaction. I really like them, but yeah, I don't like the price. Like the one with the sled and those dogs, that looks cool. I like that. Good plastic, good paint. Issue is 5 PO in price, yeah. But they're the only game in town at the moment. His Hasbro's hardly bothering. Yeah. Being that reaction are known to be a 5 POA action figure line, well then, you know, I can't really complain that they're 5 POA because I have the option of not buying them, right? I can just go, no, not for me. If I desperately want a Flint, or if I desperately want a barbecue with more articulation, well, I have options, right? It's not impossible to get a barbecue or a Flint or whatever. But yeah, I guess it's like, what are they called? Pop vinyls, right? You're either into them or you're not. So you don't have to buy them, but yeah, more articulation. If they're going to add more articulation, then just make them regular G.I. Joe. But yeah, I like the look of them. Okay, but like I said, the Andre the Giant I thought looked really cool. Some of the Ninja Turtle guys look really cool. I know that they brought out some. Was it Reaction that brought out the aliens or alien ones with Ripley and that? If it's them, then that was cool too. Yeah, and then if you're only displaying them anyway, then articulation's, you know, irrelevant. I never needed more than 5 POA. I even like 3 POA if the sculpt is good. I'm trying to remember what a 3 POA figure was. Like Slimer was a 2 POA, right? Everyone needs a fan. Yeah, they did Ripley. Nice. I can go to Target and get Reaction despite employee scalpers. Hasbro is only doing 1/12 now, except for a few online exclusives. Well, if it wasn't for online, I wouldn't be able to get anything because I don't see anything in the stores here at all. Anything was the first ever Reaction line. Oh, well, there you go. All right, cool. Finally, I remembered something correctly. Good stuff. And if I do recall correctly, they did the line that was ultimately not released. So is that right? Is that true? There's also a Reaction Street Fighter figure. Oh, cool. I haven't seen those. But that would be cool for background characters, right? All of these would be great for background characters if you're doing displays, or if you're doing play motion stuff, animation stuff. Good for backgrounds. And Street Fighter is no different. I think that's pretty cool. All right, I might look into those. I'm super into I like the Mortal Kombat G.I. Joes. I like the Street Fighter G.I. Joes. You know, some people don't think that they're, you know, a worthy inclusion, but I think they're so cool. So I'll have to check out if there's any figures in the Street Fighter line for reactions that I don't own in G.I. Joe form. The Blanca figure looks way better. Oh, cool. Okay, so I think I've got all of the Blanca figures that they made available for the G.I. Joe Street Fighter and the movie one. And I believe it's the movie one that doesn't have knee articulation, which I thought was a bit weird to not include, but still looks kind of cool. But all right, I'll check that out. You've sold me. I'm going to have a look. I also really love Jason Edmondson's card art for the Reaction G.I. Joe, and I still open them. Well, that's what they're there for. Oh, Zangief. Zangief is available. Oh, nice. I think I've got the G.I. Joe Zangief. In fact, I'm almost certain I do. But he's a weird one. He's a weird one. I don't the legs. Oh my god, the legs on that. It's a bat, I think, for the legs. Has anyone actually seen the, is it pronounced Hiya or Haya? Toys, 3.75-inch figures. They announced the line at the beginning of the year, but I haven't seen anything yet. I've not heard of them. I've not heard of them. What kind of figures are they? There's a lot of Mortal Kombat figures with the G.I. Joe line. Yep. And a lot of them are pretty cool in their own right. Like you've got Johnny Cage. He's a good one. I'm trying to think who the better ones of the Mortal Kombat ones are. Like Goro. They gave him 4 arms. They gave a G.I. Joe scale Goro. How good is that? It's so cool. The first Zangief they released was bad from G.I. Joe. Yeah, like it's so weird. Oh, Happy Accident's in the house. I caught a live stream happening over at Happy Accident. That was pretty cool. Happy to always jump in and check you guys out. I really enjoyed the G.I. Joe versus Street Fighter comic. I never got to read it, but the covers were awesome. So they, some of the covers at least, look like action figures on the cover of G.I. Joe versus Street Fighter, which is very cool. Oh, they're doing 4-inch Joes. Okay, cool. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, I had no idea. The team that sculpted Star Wars before they ruined it back in the 70s prototyped figures for Alien, but the toy line didn't go forward at the time. Super 7 got hold of them and started working directly with those sculptors. Oh, that is so cool. I love that. I love that. The same, and Dave will agree with me on this, that it's really good when they bring back the original creators and give them some respect because they earned it. And now that the sculptors and the artists and the writers and all of that, now that they're getting some recognition, I think that's amazing. Rather than just having a corporate logo on there, you've got the names behind these people. Really, yeah, I think that's great. But I think Dave, you'll agree with me on that one. Movie Shang Tsung is the unreleased Budo. Yeah. Oh, and the unreleased Ninja Road Pig. It's so wacky. If I could find one of those, I would be ecstatic. It's just like it's got a skunk stripe down the center of his hair. Yeah, but I would love to get one of those. They're out there, but there's also a blue version of Blanca that was a recolor of the Dreadnought Thunder Machine. With the vehicle? Yeah, I didn't realize it was a recolor of Thunder Machine. I'll have to go and check that one out. I've got the blue Blanca. We got the blue Blanca in my collection, and he's pretty cool too. I just got to figure out how I'm going to use him, because I used the green Blanca recently as like a homage to the Ultimate Warrior, and I wonder if the green is just body paint and he can come out as blue because you just change the body paint, maybe. Okay, they haven't announced their bigger scale one yet. Elite Force has awesome crossovers. What do you all think about Cross Country and the Havoc? I was a big fan of Cross Country and the Havoc. Really big fan. Still to this day. As a fan of the Triple T, I obviously don't have any problem with no front-facing protection. So having a gunner's seat up that high doesn't bother me. But I was, yeah, big fan. That's how Reaction began. Nice. Yeah, Dave agrees. That's why I love Operation Recall and what Carson is doing. And I also love that with the inclusion of creative minds like you, Dave, also getting recognition, right? You guys are in on it. You got that communication happening. You're getting your stuff shared out there. They're not just taking your idea and running with it. They're showing the process along the way. They're showing your creative process, your original sketches, and you know, all these ideas. And they're even going as far as to highlight fans' custom stuff as well. I love how inclusive it is, and obviously, and I love how they really respect the people that helped form our childhood. Key Blast and Joe just seemed very strange to me. Why can Street Fighter do it, but Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow can't? Yeah, but I mean, that's, you know, your imagination can take it to anywhere you want to go, right? If you don't want to have that, you don't have to have it. I don't, when I'm using them in the Slaughterhouse Wrestling Championship, they don't have Hadoukens. Yeah, they're just regular dudes for me, and they can be for you. But I think in the comic books, didn't someone learn how to do these moves? Someone learned how to do it. Jinx, maybe. I didn't read it, but I hear things. What's this one here? Exquisite miniseries, high performance, whatever that means, according to the Facebook post. I'll have to check it out. There's a lot of cool stuff coming out. It's hard to keep up. Oh, here we are. Snake Eyes throws a fireball in the Nintendo game. Perfect. Good stuff. Yeah, cool. That's fine. M. Bison and Guile were my favorite JoJo figs, but the Mortal Kombat Joes were really nice. I'm trying to think if there were any bad Mortal Kombat ones. Like, there's a few. I like the Street Fighter ones, but there are a few head scratches, right? Like, Zangief was a bit of a head scratcher. Vega not having claws is a head scratcher. But I can't think of anything in the Mortal Kombat line that was a bit of a weird choice. Like, how cool is Kano? Nailed it. Looks awesome. Zartan and the Dreadnoks were like Cobra Biker gangs. Yeah, they were. Aussie too, I think, for the most part. Yeah. But it's just that weird, not quite Snake Eyes movie gave characters magical powers. I wasn't expecting that. Kano is the best one. Yeah, I mean, gotta be, right? I can't think of, I mean, Johnny Cage with his grey sort of suit looks pretty cool. But yeah, I think Kano, I think they nailed it. The head sculpt looks brilliant. The metal face plate, like, I just think it was perfectly executed. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. Maybe knee pads are, you know, very big, but that goes for any of the Joes that are wearing those. I think Liu Kang was bad using. Yeah, but then they used that on Guile too, and I think they used it in the prototype for Guile had Sergeant Slaughter's torso, and I think that torso looks better on those sort of regular sized dudes than it does using the Road Pig one. This Road Pig's a very big dude, and using that torso on, they even used that torso on Vega, and they painted a really cool snake pattern around him. But yeah, that torso, it's overused in Street Fighter and overused in Mortal Kombat, for sure. Yeah. Jinx started using the Dark Hundu. Okay, gotcha. Raiden with the nunchuck mold looked a little weird wearing white Chuck Taylor. Yeah. Oh, and also the Raiden using the Ken head sculpt is a little weird because it's like, it's just so Ken to me after seeing on Ken first, and then they use it on Raiden with white hair and white eyeballs. Like, it doesn't look bad. It just screams Ken, old man Ken. Ninjas can throw fireballs using some weird tricks, not magic. True. I mean, Sarge threw some fireballs in the ring. Hulk Hogan threw some fireballs, right? But the Liu Kang movie figure uses the torso of the unreleased Ninja Commando road pig. Yeah. And the legs as well. Is it the legs? Like the whole body? Is that the road pig? Because I think the legs are as well. But I think the head on that looks more like Razor Ramon than it does Liu Kang. And so I might have to use him as a Razor Ramon substitute. But if it's not the whole body, then those legs were definitely underutilized. Mortal Kombat, Kano, Sonya, Smoke, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Reptile, Liu Kang, Johnny Cage. That's all I can think of at the moment. Yeah, and like all of them are arguably great figures, right? Sometimes the body mold that they use from the Ninja Force line, where they got like all the grenades and stuff on them, is a bit weird. Even though there's knives and stuff as well, but sometimes it looks a bit weird on like a skin tone body. But ultimately, thanks, Jason, you're a legend. Yo, Joe, cheers, buddy. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's much appreciated. Thank you. Okay, movie Liu Kang uses Ninja Force Storm Shadow. Gotcha. Okay. On the legs. Okay. Right. So I wonder if they did use those legs anywhere else, though, that were on that prototype. Kano was using the Ninja Motorcycle repaint. I enjoyed that vehicle when I had the original one because it broke the same way. Yeah, right? Yes, very breakable. But there was an unreleased Triple T that was going to be in the Mortal Kombat line that Kano was going to drive, and it had like a harpoon on the top of it. Why didn't they release that? That would have been awesome. Oh, Ryan, cheers, buddy, for Team Roll Like a Taco. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that. Honestly, sincerely, thank you. Thank you to everyone that sent a super chat or a super sticker. Yeah, I do sincerely appreciate it. Flint joined Ninja Force? Wasn't he already in Eco Warriors and Tiger Force? He can never be in too many forces, mate. Has anyone got a favorite Ninja Force character? Because mine's Shabang. I love that guy. He kind of also, I don't know if you get the same feeling, Dave, but he kind of looks like a luchador masked wrestler. But he's my favorite out of all of them, and I'm gonna have to use him for the Slaughterhouse as a luchador. But I also intend on using yours, Dave, when it comes out, as part of the Slaughterhouse Wrestling Championship. And you have such a unique voice that I would love it if you could voice that character for me. And it would be an absolute honor if you could voice your own character in the Slaughterhouse. Oh, Star Wars Micro Machine Guy. That's a very specific name, but so is Sergeant Slaughterhouse. So I was restoring a Raiden O-ring figure, and I laughed that he has a gun and holster on his right, on his right leg. They left it all white plastic with the leg and hoped people didn't notice. Yeah. There's a lot of them like that. Indian Toy Collector, Yo Joe. Indian Toy Collector recently named from Adam's channel the new vehicle. I can't remember every bit of it, but can you remember what it was called? Indian Toy Collector. It was the Phoenix Driver something. Whatever it was very creative. I've just got a memory of a goldfish, and I can't remember the entire acronym, but it was very cool. Oh, cheers, buddy. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate that. They should have, not me. They should have released that Kano Triple T tank, right? Have you seen it? How cool does it look? It's literally Kano in a black Triple T, and it's got like a missile firing, like a harpoon. So I wish they'd brought that out. It looks so cool. Slice and Dice. Slice and Dice stopped the Storm Shadow monopoly on Cobra's user. Yeah. They sure did. Oh, here it is. Yeah. TPDCV. So it's the Phoenix Driver something vehicle, something. I can't remember what the CV stands for. I'm so sorry. But if you could remind me, that'd be cool. But it's I do remember reading and thinking that, yeah, that's a winner. So, here it is. Yeah, combat vehicle. Of course it is. The Phoenix Driver combat vehicle. Yes, that makes sense. So Indian Toy Collector came up with that acronym and successfully had that attached to Adam's new version of the Triple T. Yes, I would love to voice. Thanks, mate. Soul Eagle for your show. So I'm calling it Soul Eagle. Am I saying that right? Because I don't want to mispronounce it if I'm because it just looks like it should say Soul. Am I saying that right when I say Soul Eagle? That girl, like, what was it? First degree girder. That's great. What code name you think it would for Kano's Triple T? The Heart Ripper? Yes. Right. The Heart Ripper would be cool. Cheers, man. I always get concerned if I mispronounce names, and even though I've got one of the weirdest names, I always get a bit worried if I'm mispronouncing it, which is why I didn't even bother trying to pronounce the Brazilian words on the Commandos version of the Battle Barge. Yeah, I don't want to embarrass myself, and I don't want to offend anyone. Yeah, what code name would we give it? Like the Heart Ripper is a pretty good. Yeah. Even better, right? There's so many options. So the Heart Ripper's good. The Black Dragon's good. Did it officially get named? I know there's artwork of it. I've seen the artwork of it, but I wonder if it was actually officially named anything. Yeah, the Black Dragon is good too. I agree. So good. Will T-Hawk or Johnny Cage show up at your wrestling federation? So yes, T-Hawk, I don't know because I don't really have a character that I can turn him into unless he is like I don't have a T-Hawk action figure. Johnny Cage is coming in though as a mashup between Johnny Cage and the Hitman, Bret Hart. So Bret Hart and Johnny Cage merged into one character who I'm just simply calling the Hitman. So he's in the next one. So look out for that. My favorite member of Ninja Force is Snake Eyes. Too easy, maybe, but it's my favorite G.I. Joe next to Sergeant Slaughter. Amen. But yeah, shebang for me. I love his outfit. It's bright yellow, but that's cool. He's got on his wristbands, it looks like he's got like some sort of communication device, so it's mixing technology with ninjutsu, old school stuff. But it looks great, and the head wrap makes sense. I know not all of them, but I know a lot of the Ninja Force stuff came with like a tie or a ribbon or something, or real rooted hair. But for him, I think it's appropriate to have the tie in the back of his mask. I think it ties that look together. I wonder. I'm not sure what you're referring to here, but I wonder if I could come up with a Doink the Clown for the Slaughterhouse Wrestling Championship. That would be cool. That would be really cool. I don't know how I would do it. But yeah. What's odd is I got the Arashikage Temple set today, and they had a Black Dragon leader in it, but a Ninja Clan, not the Mortal Kombat group. Interesting. My favorite Ninja Force figure is Scarlet. Ever see the thighs they put on that figure? Yeah. She could crush a few walnuts for sure. But I feel like she's great. The articulation of the legs are a bit unfortunate. Same with Chun-Li. It's unfortunate that they've given them that spring leg rather than the usual G.I. Joe style. It's not a breaker. It's not a deal breaker necessarily. I can excuse it for when they did it with E-Honda because it's such a large scale figure that they probably couldn't make him O-ring anyway. That gimmick on E-Honda is easily you find that one broken all the time, so his legs always extended up. How about the Sergeant Slaughter APV? So the Warthog, you mean? Because that is my favorite of all the G.I. Joe vehicles. That Warthog is beautiful. Ninja Force Scarlet is an awesome design, but a crappy action feature. Yeah. It's a shame. I know recently in the Renegade series on Joe Berg channel that he's put the Ninja Force Scarlet head on the regular Scarlet body, and I think it looks pretty good. It's I think you had to do a little bit of finagling to get it to work, but I think it looks great. But yeah, it's a good figure, badly executed. But yeah, the Warthog. It's my favorite of all the Joe vehicles. It's a great troop transport. It really floats. And the amount of detail that's hidden inside, you can't really appreciate unless you take it apart. Oh, good stuff. Very good stuff. Yeah. All right, guys. I think we'll leave it there. We've definitely moved off topic a little bit, but it was great to hang out with you all. Thank you for hanging in the chat. Thank you to everyone who sent a super chat. Thank you to all of my channel members and all of my Patreon supporters. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with me on this Australian Sunday, now hit afternoon. It's gone from morning to afternoon now, but what a great day to spend together with you guys. Oh, Classified. Thank you. Love these casual type lives. Thanks, Hazel, in the chat. Always learn so much. I think I learned more than I taught. You know, I think I'm no expert, and if I can learn something designed by a little kid, you know, I did not know, but yeah, if I can learn something, then you know, that's an afternoon well spent or a morning well spent. Later, Dave, thanks for jumping in. Appreciate it. Thanks again, Classified, for the super chat. I don't know if I said thank you, but thank you. I appreciate it sincerely. Do appreciate it. Yeah, but thank you, everybody. I will see you on the next one. This is the first one I think I've ever done live by myself, so it was a little bit yeah, nerve-wracking, but thank you to everybody. Yeah, you better get to sleep. 3 a.m. on the space station. Woo! Good luck. All right. I'm dismissed.